So today I am pretty excited to share with you this new update to the Facebook Ad Manager that just makes your life so much easier when you're trying to scale Facebook ads that are working well for you, which is like it's the only ones that you do scale, right? So this is gonna be just a little bit nuanced, but I think you're gonna like it. So stick with me on this, okay? So what the new update does is it makes it dead simple to run the exact same ad to different ad sets. And I don't mean a duplicate of the ad. I mean the exact same ad ID, same everything. So if you're one of the people who've been jumping through hoops, using dark posts to do this, then rejoice, because now it's a feature and not a hack. And all you have to do is click a button and bam, it's done. So, which is awesome. So I'm gonna explain step by step how to do this, but before I do that, I wanna just back up a second. For those who may not be as familiar with what we're talking about, don't use dark posts, let me just put this all in context for you, okay? And also explain to you why, now that you do know about it, you absolutely, and it's easy, you should absolutely positively be using this, okay? Because this is a very important ninja trick for you. So let's start out just with a reminder of how Facebook keeps score in the great Facebook ad game. It's called relevance score. And relevance score is a calculated number between 1 and 10 that is the best predictive indicator that we have of an ad's success. And just as a kind of a side note, like as I was thinking through this episode and writing down my notes, dawned on me that actually this would make a great topic for next week, relevance score, and then what you can do about it when your ad is not reaching our target of 8 to 10. So I think I'm going to do that next week. But back to relevance score, for a second, the Facebook calculates relevance score by looking at all sorts of different engagement metrics. So likes and clicks and shares and comments and video views, how long they viewed, time on site, if it's a click through to your site, whether they converted or not, all of these things, it mushes together into this one number between 1 and 10. And as I said, the idea is that you definitely want your ads and ad sets to be at least an 8, okay? And then just the other day, I actually heard this explained very similar to Google. They said, the big breakthrough for Google compared to previous search engines was that they figured out that they could look at links, authoritative backlinks to a site, and decide how to order the search results in order to give you the most relevant answer for your search query, right? Well, Facebook uses this relevance score almost in the exact same way that Google uses these backlinks. So the ads that you're going to scale, meaning the ones that you're going to try to put more money into so that more money falls out the bottom, are the ones that are working, right? And by extension, that means that they almost certainly have a lot of engagement. So whether you are scaling vertically by just adding budget to an existing ad set, or scaling horizontally by adding more audiences or placements or what have you, you are always going to make a copy of the ad set, right? Because we know that you don't just take an ad that is working and pile in a bunch more budget, because a lot of times an ad won't scale. And when you try to add budget to it, it blows up, and not in a good way. So to protect the ad that is working, what we do is we make a duplicate of that ad set in order to protect it, and then add the budget to the new duplicate. And the same if we want to scale an ad by adding different placements or different audiences. We duplicate the ad set. And by the way, this idea that we're duplicating the ad set, not the ad, is kind of key, as you're going to see here in a second. But anyway, and then you change the audience or the placement or whatever. Okay. So before, when you did that, all of that engagement, all the likes, all the shares, comments, blah, 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 right? Everything that made it a good ad in Facebook's eyes, which Facebook then responds to by giving it more reach at lower cost, was lost. When you made a clone of an ad, or rather an ad set, doesn't matter, then all of that, you were starting from scratch. All of that was lost, okay? So what we used to do was to, this little trick, it was called a dark post. And that was a way around it. But the thing is, dark posts are a hack. And they're a pain in the butt. And really, when Facebook has basically declared relevance to be the currency in its little empire, if you will, then, it makes absolutely no sense that we're having to do these hacks in order to preserve the engagement and relevance that we've created on an ad, right? So apparently they figured that out, because all of a sudden, here in the last 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that, we have this new feature that allows you to replicate an ad set, but run the traffic to the exact same original ad. Again, same ID, all the engagement intact, okay? So now when you add audience or different audiences or different budget, it's all being aggregated into this one ad. Makes sense, right? So, this is just a great new feature as far as I'm concerned. And so let me tell you how to do it. And by the way, for those of you who are visual, or you want to put this away as a reference, because I'm going to explain to you exactly how to do this, right? But in case you're thinking, nah, I'm never going to remember this, it's okay, because I have a cheat sheet for you. In fact, I believe, somewhere over there, there's URL in the corner. It's sync2crm.com/EP10, as in episode 10 of Kim Snider Live. And when you go there, you will find complete, in the cheat sheet, complete step-by-step with the screenshots and everything. Just look for the orange button at the bottom of the page and you'll find that. Okay, so here's how it's done. So again, the key thing to remember here is that you are duplicating the ad set, not the ad. So you start in Ad Manager. You will see the list of campaigns. Click the link on the campaign where your ad set is that you want to duplicate. So now you're in the ad set, right? And then you're going to put a check mark next to the ad set that has the ad that you want to create more audiences for, or whatever it is, okay? So you're going to check the ad set, which selects it. And as soon as you do that, a button is going to pop up above the list of ad sets, and one of the actions will say, create a similar ad set. Click that. And when you do, on the right-hand side of your screen now, a wizard's going to pop up. So it looks surprisingly similar to the Power Editor one when you say create a campaign from Power Editor. But never mind, doesn't matter, right? It's this little wizard's going to pop up, and you're going to see campaign, ad set, ad. Now, you're almost always going to keep the same campaign. You're probably not going to edit that, but you're always going to edit the ad set, the new ad set, because that was kind of the point, right? So you'll click the edit button next to the ad set, and you're just gonna make that ad set, because it's a new one, however you want it. You can delete everything that's there, add new stuff, do anything you want, doesn't matter, okay? And then once that is done, if you want, you can go to the ads. I typically don't edit the ad itself that I'm trying to scale, because that defeats the whole purpose. The whole point is that this one is a winner, right? And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But there are things that you might want to do there. Like, for example, maybe this ad set had more than one ad in it, and one's a winner and the other two are not, so you want to delete the other two, or you want to give that ad a different name, that version a different name for tracking purposes or whatever. If you want to, you go to the ad and by clicking edit there, and you can do that, okay? Then you say next, and then you say place order, and you're done. Bingo, done. And if you just want to assure yourself that you have managed to keep all of that engagement intact, all you have to do once you've placed the order is go to the preview for that ad, and then click on preview permalink with comments. I think it says something like that. And if you click on that and you view it that way, you'll see that even though it's a different ad set, it's the same ad with still all of your stuff there intact. Okay, that's pretty cool, huh? If you don't know it's cool, trust me, someday you'll thank me. It is. So just to summarize, so this new create similar ad set feature is used to run different ad sets to the same ad. And you would use this to scale an ad that's working either vertically or horizontally. And the benefit is that you don't lose the engagement, which helps your relevance score. It also helps with social proof, which is something I didn't even talk about, which is also really important. Someone sees your ad and they see a bunch of likes and shares and comments on it, the likelihood that they click on that ad is just exponentially higher than an ad with none of those things. So, I mean, social proof is important too. And so that's how you're going to use it. And then finally, if you want the cheat sheet with the full step-by-step, complete with screenshots, you can get that by going to crm.com/EP10, like episode 10. And hopefully that URL is down in the left-hand corner of the video if all's gone well. And then once you get to that page, just look for the orange button at the bottom that says get the step by step. So Mike says, so when you duplicate the same ad set to a new audience, those likes, shares, and comments are seen to the new audience? Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I know I'm looking down at my phone because I can't see them both at the same place. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly the point, right? Is that the new audience will see all of those, and that as the new audience leaves their own likes, shares, comments, etc., that rather than showing up on a separate ad, it just gets added to that original ad. So you can imagine what's happening here, right? So let's just say you've got an ad and it's a winner, and so you decide to try a different audience with that same ad. So you create a similar ad set, and it's a winner there too, right? So now you got two, and because there's already so much engagement on it, right? Social proof people, in the lack of a certainty, they'll look around, see what other people are doing, do the same thing. That's the definition of social proof. So they start anyway. So now you're getting all these comments and likes and shares, and then you do it again to a third ad set, and that works, and all those are piling on top, and then a fourth, etc. And when it works, it's brilliant, okay? And this was something that we just didn't really have the capability. Well, we did, but like I said, it was just a hack, and now Facebook has said, well, of course, right? Like, you worked hard to get those likes, shares, comments, and views. Why would we? This didn't make any sense. So they fixed it, which is awesome. Okay, so let me know, Mike, if that does not answer your question. Okay, Bill Corey says, if we do change the ad, does that ruin the benefit of doing this? Okay, so I'm going to interpret. I think what you're saying, Bill, is meaning you've created the similar ad set and now you want to change the ad itself. I mean, again, the whole, the only time you would do this would be an ad that was working well. If it's not relevant, if it's not working well, you aren't going to have any engagement on it. And so there's really, you could still do it. Maybe you have a comment, and maybe a like, and you're like, well, might as well keep that. Okay, I'll buy that. I mean, why not, And so maybe you're just thinking that one didn't work. I'll just try a different audience and maybe it'll resonate better. And I'm going to make some changes to that, to the ad. But to me, that's not scaling an ad. That's like just basically creating a whole new ad. And I think that the distinction here is an ad that is working is almost always going to have a ton of engagement on it, and an ad that isn't going to have anything worth preserving anyway. And if you just want an example of that, do this. You're on my Sync to CRM page. If you scroll down that page, not now, wait until we finish, but if you scroll down that page, you'll see I have been running ads for these Facebook Live episodes. And just find and they're doing really well, and they have relevant scores of 10. And if you look at them, EP9 is pretty recent, but look at 8 and 7, and look at all the comments, shares, likes, etc., views that are on that. That's the sort of thing, Bill, that you're trying not to lose. If you've just got one, and you're changing the ad, that's really not exactly what this is for. Hopefully that answered your question. You could, it's the short answer. You could, but I don't see why. Okay, very good. Now Joe says, I got it. Hey Joe, I can't wait to look over it. Okay, so I'm assuming that you're talking about the cheat sheet with all of the step-by-step, which is awesome, EP10. And you guys, the URL is showing up in the bottom corner, left corner, right? If you guys, someone just let me know that'd be awesome. Okay, Mike says, how new is this? Within the last couple weeks. I saw it about 2 weeks ago, I think. So I don't know how much before that, but not much. It is definitely a new feature. And then, Mike says, so this is like taking a proven winner, showing it to a whole new audience and expecting great results. Okay, yes and no. Because look, just because it works for one audience doesn't mean it's going to work for the next one. That's one of the strategies that you're trying. And Mike, that part of our concept, with what we do is trying things that may or may not work, right? And then you get rid of them. So sometimes it will. If you got a great ad and you pick your audiences well, then if it worked well for one, it's going to work for the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Sometimes it works for 1 and 3 and 4, but not 5 and 6 and 2. That's the whole point of scaling horizontally. But by doing this, you just make it easier for it to succeed, because all of that social proof and engagement goes along with it. But it doesn't guarantee its success if you just get an audience where it just doesn't resonate, right? Okay, Joe says bottom right. Thank you, Joe. I've been saying left, but okay, bottom right. Bill says, I was just thinking about a price reduction, new special deal, etc. Oh, okay. In terms of your question about, again, I would just run a new ad. You don't want to because here's the thing. So in our inner circle yesterday, I do a group coaching program called on Facebook called Inner Circle. And yesterday in Inner Circle, one of the things we were discussing actually was I was showing everybody how when an ad gets tired, and at some point you just have to turn it off and either let it rest and maybe try it again or maybe not. And so I think the danger, Bill, in what you're suggesting, I haven't tried it, so everything's always worth worth a test, right? But the thing is, if you're like just trying to keep this ad alive, I'm not sure you're going to get the reach. I think it's going to be tired because it's already, I don't know. I'm just not convinced that it's worth a try, but I'm not thinking it's a good strategy. If it was me, I think I would just start a new ad. Don't try to piggyback something off of an ad that's not that ad. You could end up just breaking both of them. So that's just me. Okay. Okay. Any other thoughts, questions, comments, anything that I can answer for you guys? Tell you what, so glad that y'all are here, and thank you for helping my relevance score by giving me some likes and shares. And oh, by the way, you guys could share this. That would help too if you think that it would be useful to anybody on your timeline or on your business page. That would be, or in groups that you belong to. That would be super and help me out as well. So, all right, well, with that, I'm going to close it up. If I missed anything, just take your questions, thoughts, comments, and put them down below, and I will do my best to come back and answer them, as long as they're legitimate, not trolls. And that's it for now. This is Kim Snider. See you next time.